Again, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Sorry about the delay. My name is Chantel Smith. I'm the coordinator for recruitment and programming here in the Honors College at the University of Maryland. Joining me for this chat, we have Jenny Lang, the Associate Director of Admissions and Recruitment within the Honors College. We have Kayla Best, our Graduate Assistant for Recruitment and Programming, and a few of our current students. We'll ask our students to introduce themselves after the presentation's over. So the presentation will be about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll be available to answer any questions that you have until 1 p.m. Please make sure that you're only using the chat feature if you have any technical issues, and we'll be answering questions that come through the Q&A feature. If you do see a question that has already been asked, but you also would like to ask that same question, you're actually able to move it up in our queue so we can see that it's a question that multiple people are wanting to ask. So a lot of you may be wondering what exactly the Honors College is. So the Honors College at the University of Maryland is an opportunity for invited students to join a community of faculty, staff, and other students dedicated to diversity, inclusivity, responsibility, and a sense of engagement within the world. Students invited to join the Honors College will join one of our 8 unique living learning programs, which will provide each student with a community and opportunities to explore a focused curriculum as they pursue their honors citation. Most courses for the honors citation will satisfy general education requirements, so the courses students take in honors will help them as they work towards earning the degree. You can look at the Honors College as an enhancement to your education, nothing additional, just allowing you to have a different option of classes to take in order to fulfill some of your graduation requirements with a co-curricular component included. Our goal is to foster learning inside and outside of the classroom and to create a supportive, close-knit community for our students. Our 8 living learning programs offer students a wide range of concepts and ideas to explore, including, but not limited to, cybersecurity, design, research, humanities, business, globalization, and the life sciences. Students of all majors are welcome within the Honors College into each of the living learning programs. Most students will earn their Honors College citation in their first 2 years at UMD, but will remain members of the Honors College for all 4 of their years, taking part in social events, professional development events, other research, internship, and study abroad opportunities.
Okay, so all students who are invited to the Honors College will be in one of our unique living learning programs. Each program has a different curriculum, an area of focus, or approach which students will pursue to earn their honors citation. After we had released the admissions decisions in February, students will have the opportunity to identify which of the living learning programs they prefer through a preferencing form. Many of your students may have already submitted this form. If you are not sure if they have, please remind them to submit their preferencing form. It is due on February 20th. This form does not commit them to the University of Maryland. It makes sure that they have a spot in the Honors College should they decide to confirm to the University of Maryland on or before May 1st. So they will then find out which program they're in early March. So they'll have that information before they have to make a decision about enrolling at the University of Maryland. So here's a little bit of information about each of the programs. The Advanced Cybersecurity Experience for Students program, known as ACES, works to develop successful, forward-thinking cyber leaders who create a safer world by embracing both the technical and non-technical aspects of cybersecurity. Design Cultures and Creativity explores the roles and impact of design in our societies and creative practices in ways that cut across STEM and non-STEM disciplines. Students in this program are theorists and thinkers who investigate the digital age through designing, analyzing, and creating. Gemstone is a unique, multidisciplinary 4-year research program for honor students of all majors interested in leadership, teamwork, and social impact. Students will work in teams of 8 to 12, beginning at the end of their freshman year and continuing through their senior year. So they'll work on a research project with the guidance of a dedicated faculty mentor. Honors Global Communities is one of our 2 newest programs. This new curriculum is focused on using data science to analyze and consider global challenges. Students will have unique internship opportunities through the Global Fellows Program with access to internships located in the DC area, which will satisfy curriculum requirements. Honors Humanities is our signature program for exploring the arts and humanities in all their creative, social, and global dimensions, empowering students to find their voices while imagining their future and in changing the world. Integrated Life Sciences offers unparalleled, accelerated, and innovative courses and research opportunities in all areas of the life sciences, as well as service learning experiences that are designed to launch the careers of outstanding students of all majors, exploring all aspects of life sciences. Interdisciplinary Business Honors is our second new program. We have our first freshman cohorts this year for the Honors Global Communities and Interdisciplinary Business Honors programs. So IBH offers students a big picture view of business in relation to multiple fields, life callings, and social issues, and challenges students to imagine the future of work and business. And finally, University Honors, our oldest, largest, and freshly reimagined and relaunched program with an exciting new curriculum and brand new residence halls and program space in the middle of campus. This program is not defined by a specific subject, but it rather draws on distinguished faculty from across campus to teach fascinating courses on big questions and ideas from different disciplinary perspectives, STEM and non-STEM. Students will pursue their curiosity wherever it leads, as they also encounter multiple perspectives of thinking. So each of these programs is available to students of any major. Honor students may be in a living learning program that is related to their major to go more in depth in their chosen field of study, or they can choose a program that's the complete opposite of their major, giving them a really great opportunity to broaden their experience during their time here. We often get questions of like, my student is an engineering major, which program should they be in? The answer is they can be in any program they're interested in. So it does not relate to their major. It is up to the student and what they're interested in.
So what exactly are the benefits of being a part of the Honors College? So within our community, students take small discussion-based courses, many of which are smaller than the regular courses offered to all UMD students. As mentioned before, students typically will earn their honor citation, which is a notation listed on their transcript within 2 years, although one of our programs, Gemstone, is a 4-year research-based program, so students in that program will receive their honor citation at the end of their 4 years. Students are also able to connect with fellow honor students with the faculty and staff more closely. We also offer study abroad, internship, and research opportunities both on and off campus. And our students participate fully in the life of a university. And in most cases, our members are members of many departments and student groups across campus. So they're not siloed at all away from campus. We also offer a number of our social events to encourage our students to connect both with the entire Honors College community and through their specific living learning program. To include one of the most popular events we host, we're actually hosting it today, our ice cream socials featuring Maryland Dairy Ice Cream.
Okay, internships. So our location gives students access to many internship opportunities in the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. region. Each of our programs will bring in experts in the field of study to meet with their students. So for example, in the Advanced Cybersecurity Experience for Students program, they have a career mentor program, career mentor component. So experts from organizations such as the National Security Agency will come in and talk to the students in the program about their career and how they got there, and they'll offer guidance to the students on their careers. Internships are available for students during the school year and over the summer, and there are internship opportunities available both on campus and off campus.
So University of Maryland is a Research One institution, which means that we typically have more access to grants, more labs, more faculty, and more opportunities for undergraduate students to get involved. And since, like I mentioned earlier, our class sizes are smaller, this actually gives our students more access to the faculty and therefore more opportunities to work in those faculty labs. Research opportunities are available both on and off campus. And because of our prime geographical location, students have easy access to research opportunities in the area, to include Johns Hopkins and National Institutes of Health.
Okay, so many of our students are in majors that will have very heavy course loads, so it may make studying abroad for an entire semester challenging, but there are winter, spring break, and summer study abroad programs, and there are certainly many students who do participate in semester-long or even year-long study abroad programs. And we are back to regular study abroad programs, and our students have been eager to travel again. So if a student is interested in studying abroad, Whether for a short-term program or for a semester or year-long, they should talk to their advisor about these possibilities as early as possible, and they should visit the study abroad office on campus. Some of our living learning programs do have a study abroad option in the curriculum. So it is a way for students to both pursue a study abroad program and to satisfy a curriculum requirement for the Honors College citation. It really helps students when they're able to double up on one opportunity that counts in multiple places.
So while at UMD, students have literally hundreds of different opportunities to get involved across campus in extracurricular activities and student groups. And the Honors College actually has a few of our own ways to get involved. So I'll just highlight two. Our Honors Ambassadors, which is a volunteer organization consisting of current students who are available to talk to prospective students, like the student panel joining us tonight, this afternoon. And these students participate in all of our on-campus and virtual recruiting events. And each of our living learning programs within Honors actually has a student advisory board, which serves as a connection between the students in the program and the faculty and staff who run the program. And these students organize and give input for social events and program-specific activities outside of the academic curriculum.
So once our students are here on campus, there's a National Scholarships Office, which is available to help connect our students with scholarships that will fit their goals and skills. So a lot of our Honors College students have been very successful in applying for and winning these competitive national and international awards. So on the slide here are just a few of the national awards and scholarships that our students in the Honors College earned in the 2021-2022 academic year.
And then here you can see some stats from our students who graduated during the 2021 year, including spring, summer, and December graduation. We had 64% of our students who graduated had jobs right after graduation, which is awesome. And 31% of our students decided to attend a graduate school. Some students also went into volunteer opportunities to include AmeriCorps and the Peace Corps. And a small percentage of our students actually go into the military after graduation.
So here you'll see some of the types of graduate programs and career placements that our students have. So graduate programs our students attend will include med school, law school, veterinary medicine, library science, engineering, anthropology. And some of our career placement examples include a systems developer and software developer engineer at Amazon, financial analyst and program manager at Microsoft Corporation, and classroom teachers in the local school district. This is a small sample of the many places that our students go after graduation.
So thank you for viewing that. That is our brief presentation before we open up the floor to our Q&A. Just a few things. Don't forget to have your students submit their preference form by the best consideration date of February 20th. It's coming up soon, next Monday. If you or your student have any questions, you're welcome to contact us. You can learn more about our programs and about the Honors College at honors.umd.edu. And again, if you need to contact us, you can email us at honorsadmissions@umd.edu, and feel free to follow us on our Instagram, which kind of keep up with what we're doing and what our students are doing at Terp Honors. So I'm going to unshare. I'll have our students introduce themselves, and just please remember to put your questions in the Q&A, and then we'll get right to it. So if I could have our students come up, yep. Then Neha, you can go first.
Sure. Hi, I'm Neha. I'm a sophomore microbiology major, or I should say a biological sciences major specializing in microbiology. I'm in the Gemstone Honors program here at UMD.
Erin?
Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a freshman computer science and math major, and I'm also in the Gemstone Honors program.
Hi everyone, my name is Grishma. I am a biology and psychology major, and I'm also in the Gemstone program as well.
Awesome. So Thank you guys for introducing yourselves. I'm gonna go ahead and look at some of the questions to see if we can answer out loud. So one of the questions says, are there suite style dorm rooms available for first year honor students? Do any of you guys know about in your program or in your resident hall if there were suites available?
So I think we're all gemstones, so we were all in Ellicott. So I can't speak to any of the other honors programs, but as far as I know, Ellicott was mostly doubles.
So I can answer some of that. So some of our resident halls do offer suites. I know Prince Frederick Hall does, and that's home to our interdisciplinary business honors, design, cultures, and creativity, and our ACES program, our cyber program. Okay, so since all of you are in Gemstone, there's a question that says, why did you choose Gemstone? And what would have been your second choice?
I could start with this one. So I've always been interested in like research, and I know that I might be planning on going to grad school. So Gemstone is kind of like a trial period for that to see if I would be interested in research as a career or in further schooling. And my second choice was the ACES honors program because I'm also interested in cybersecurity.
I can also talk about a little bit. It was interesting for me because I was a incoming biology major, so I kind of had a choice at the time between ILS and Gemstone. I was thinking about which one I was going to preference first, and I ended up choosing Gemstone because I did want a more research-oriented experience. But ILS would have been another good option for me with my biology background.
Yeah, I can add on as well. My second choice was also ILS because I was also looking towards medical school at the time of my application. And I ended up ultimately choosing Gemstone because I wanted to focus a lot on research, and Gemstone kind of gave me that space to do my own research, but also have that mentorship and guidance to start it off and learn the process along the way. So that was ultimately why I ended up choosing Gemstone.
Thank you. So another question that I think you guys can answer is about our smaller class sizes. So the question is, are there separate smaller size classes for classes like calculus available to honor students? So this would be like the H version courses. The answer is yes, but has any of you taken an H version course?
I can talk about it. So I took specifically for calculus, I did take the H version of the course for calculus, and it was a smaller class size, something like around 20 students to a class. It was really nice that you had that personal experience with the professor and have that community aspect, and you got the opportunity to ask more questions and be more engaged with not only your peers, but also the professor that was teaching the course. So I really like that. And like having that opportunity.
Just muted myself. Thanks for that. So next question is, what if you changed your mind and wanted to go to another program? I can answer that. So if you do get accepted to, or when you get accepted to one of our programs, if you have a change of heart prior to the end of spring, you can contact us and let us know. We can try to see if there's any available spaces in another program of your choice. If you try out the program for your first year, and you find that you don't like it, at the end of your freshman year in the spring, you can actually there's an application that you can apply to another program, and again, would be contingent on the program approval, and also space availability. Okay, we get this question a lot, so I'll ask this, and students, you can kind of add on to this. So how do students know which honors program is the right fit for them? So we typically say that it's we don't necessarily suggest any specific program to you. It really is based off of your interests. Like Jenny said earlier, it could be that you want to add on to your major, and so you want to go more in depth in it. And maybe if you're in the life sciences, you might be interested in integrated life sciences. Or you could be in a bio major and you're interested in books and art. And so you might pick honors humanities. It really depends on what you're trying to get out of the program. Any students want to add on to that?
Yeah, like I said, I could have gone with either ILS or GEMS based on, my interests. Like there was no like wrong answer per se. I think either probably would have ended up being a good fit for me. I mean, I love being in Gemstone. I think it's fantastic. I get to do research that, is really important to me. Don't let me keep going because I will talk your ear off about that. But I think the nice thing about the honors college is that there are like very few rules. I know ILS has like a AP credit requirement, but beyond that, you just kind of follow your passions. So just choose something that is something that you think will inspire you to kind of enjoy the program and get the most out of it that you possibly can.
Thank you. And since we're mentioning Gemstone, the next question is, can you elaborate on what the Gemstone program is?
I can talk about it a little bit. So the Gemstone program is a 4-year interdisciplinary research program. So basically during your freshman year, you will get put into teams, and within your team, you will actually come up with an idea for a research project. You will be set up with a research mentor whose lab you will utilize for your project, and you will basically conduct the research from generating the idea to actually doing the experimental procedures to actually conducting it and analyzing your results. And at the end of your 4 years, all of that will accumulate in a thesis, which you will defend in the spring semester of your senior year.
This next one actually is specifically for Erin. How did you choose between getting involved in a CS related lab versus research via Gemstone?
For me, this isn't really a choice. It's more of I have both options and I can do both. Gemstone is a very interdisciplinary program, so even though I haven't selected a topic, I'm probably not going to be in a topic that's fully CS related. So my Gemstone project might not be related to what I want to do as a career or in grad school, but I can also work in CS labs and try and get research on the side during my summers or also during the year in addition to my Gemstone project, so I can try out both at the same time.
Yeah, I think like I can add to that a little bit. If you're doing research through Gemstone, that doesn't have to be the only research you do ever. And that research does not have to be related to your major. Like one of my roommates is a government and computer science major, and her project is studying disparities in maternal health care based on race. So, I mean, you can see how each of her majors kind of plays into it, but it's not like a very CS focused or like a very government focused project. And, my project is heavily biology based, but I wanted more bioinformatics research experience because that's an interest of mine. So I just emailed professors and found somebody with a lab who was willing to, help me practice my data science skills. So you're not kind of constricted in Gemstone. You can really expand into other interests beyond your major.
Thank you. So speaking about all of this research that we're talking about, it's very academic heavy. So we have a question that's saying, what percentage of honor students' time is spent in honors program activities versus in activities with other parts of the university? So how are you splitting, I guess, how are you splitting up? How much time would you say that you spend on your honors curriculum and activities versus the rest of your time?
Right now, I have a 16 credit course load and 4 credits of that are my Gemstone courses. So I have about 4 hours of Gemstone lecture and discussion per week. And the homework corresponding to that is just like 1 class out of my time right now. The older students can speak to when they're working on a research project, but right now I have plenty of time for other extracurricular activities and other classes while also balancing it with Gemstone.
I honestly think for honors programs, just in general, not just Gemstone, you really, of course you have your courses, right? But the amount of time you put into it is really up to you beyond your courses. Like, I am part of the Gemstone Leadership Council, which is like a student run kind of extracurricular group where we can kind of provide peer mentorship and provide input into the Gemstone program. And so I'm currently at the stage of Gemstone where we're designing our project. And so we're just primarily working with our mentor at this point. So that's about 2 hours of my time every week, but I put in another 2 to 3 hours just as part of Gemstone extracurriculars because I enjoy kind of being very involved in the program. And that was my decision. So it's really up to you. You put in however much you're willing and able to.
Yeah, I kind of to add on to that, I agree with just being able to have that flexibility and having that option of however much time you want to put into it. I think for me at least, I'm currently working on my thesis right now. So we have to put in a little bit extra time in order to get that done. But it's not more than, I would say it's a 2 credit class. So it's not more than 6 hours per week, whether that be going into lab or actually working on your thesis. So that's kind of the time you have to set aside for actually doing the project. But other than that, whether you want to be involved in the extracurriculars involved in Gemstone, like the Leadership Council, or the other activities that go on, that's completely up to you in terms of how much time you want to devote to that. But it's definitely very manageable with other extracurriculars.
Thank you for that. So next question is for all 3 students. They want to know, why did you pick UMD and why honors? Did you accept your honors invite?
I can answer that. But so I initially picked UMD because I came to campus when I was kind of applying to colleges and looking at which one I wanted to go to. And I really loved the community that was at UMD. I think I felt that everyone was so supportive of you, not just your peers, but also your professors, the faculty members that I spoke to. And that kind of was a big part of what I was looking for, just having that supportive community. So that's why I ultimately ended up choosing UMD. And I also really liked the fact that it was close to home as well, which is sometimes needed. So that's why I ultimately decided to come to UMD. And I really love the Gemstone Honors program as well. Research was something that I knew I wanted to do and I wanted a long-term experience. So having that kind of built-in experience was a really important thing to me as well.
To add on to that, for me specifically, my acceptance into the honors program was a huge factor in helping me choose UMD because it offers the small community as a part of a much larger campus. Maryland being like such a huge campus, R1 research school means that I have a ton of opportunities, a ton of different clubs and groups that I can get involved with. But the Gemstone Honors Program gives me a much smaller community to really find my people instead of being lost in such a big campus. So the small community, big campus was what really drew me to UMD Honors.
Yeah, no, I mean, just to add on to that, like, yes, definitely proximity to home was great for me. And I think, again, like the big thing was Gemstone. Once I realized I had that opportunity, that was kind of a big game changer, because I can't really stress this enough. It is rare to have the opportunity to design your own project as an undergrad, essentially have somebody fund it, and, you know, really just run your own research. Like, your mentor is there as part of a Gemstone program, and they are a great help and they're wonderful. They provide their lab space in a lot of cases, but you and your teammates, you design the project. Like, you're not doing somebody else's research. This is created by you, and you don't get that at a lot of other universities. So that was a really unique opportunity that kind of pushed me towards Maryland in the end.
Absolutely. And since you kind of we're talking about research, the next question that I see has been uploaded a few times is if any of you guys have worked in research labs, what has been your experience? Is it difficult to connect to PIs and get those opportunities? And do most get research experience?
I think it's fairly easy to get involved in research at UMD. We have a whole database where we have the research opportunities. So students can basically look through that database for the research that they like, and they can email the PI saying they're interested and would really like to join. And usually the PIs are really supportive in that they are really welcoming to undergrad students and welcoming to help them learn. I'm personally in a research lab right now, and that's the way that I did it. And my PI is really close with me and have mentored me a lot in my career. So that was really important to me. And they are happy to do it for you. So that's something that is really, really important. Like it's not like you're constantly like asking them things, or you're kind of like bothering them. They are really happy to help you and support you in whatever you want to do with that research and also outside of that research. So that's really important.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly found my research by cold emailing PIs. Like, I did not do anything beyond that. Like, I just searched up names of people whose, labs were in my department who were working on something I was interested in. I just sent them an email. I was like, okay, this is my resume. This is why I'm really interested in what you're working on. Are you able to have an undergraduate in your lab to kind of foster their, learning and their experiences? And I won't lie, like it is not like you're not going to find something immediately the first person you email. The odds are, low for that. I think I emailed about like 10 PIs before I had a response, but I was able to find research by the middle of my first semester here. So, I mean, it isn't too difficult. Like, a lot of the PIs here are looking for undergrads to help support their research. Fun fact, the PI I ended up working with was so busy with grant writing, she missed my initial email, and I had given up on her contacting me back until I got an email from her out of the blue a month later saying, "Oh yeah, I'm so sorry, I didn't see your email. I was writing grants." Yeah, of course I'm interested in having an undergrad. So, like, it's, in a lot of cases, it's not like going to happen instantaneously, but it's not super difficult to find research here.
All right, and so I'm going into our next question. have your respective experiences matched your expectations thus far? So when you were coming into college, how has UMD and or the Honors College met those expectations, if it has?
You know, I will be completely honest. I actually, let me put it this way, the college experience, the UMD experience, honors experience, all kind of exceeded my expectations for what I thought, you know, what I was picturing at the end of high school as this like college experience. I didn't realize, you know, how helpful in a lot of cases it can be to have this kind of independence to your, not just like your life in general, but just even to your academics. Like in a lot of cases, you have a lot more flexibility in what courses you can take. You have, you know, flexibility in when you take them, you make your own schedule. Of course, that means you do have to learn good time management fairly quickly, but if you have that skill down, you can really maximize your time and really make the most out of your college experience. Like even outside of academics, I've been able to go to DC fairly often, kind of explore College Park. I'm trying to get into the food scene a little bit. So you have, you know, the potential for a lot of new experiences. And, you know, I did not really anticipate that coming into college.
Yeah, so kind of to add on to that, I think it also exceeded my expectations too, because when I was coming into college, I was a little bit nervous because UMD is really big. So I just thought I was going to kind of get lost in there or have to kind of figure things out on my own. But I was really surprised by how willing faculty were, how willing the mentors were to be able to like support you. And it wasn't that you were going to them, they would like at the beginning of like lectures, they would be like, come to office hours, like even if you just want to say hi. And I think that was something that was really important because it made me more comfortable to like reach out and ask them questions. And that was really important for helping me figure out things that I want to do, not only in terms of like academic, but also in terms of my future career. So that was really something that really exceeded my expectation in terms of UMD because I really did find my community and people that were really supportive to me.
Next question. It seems like a lot of people have a lot of questions about Gemstone, interestingly. Thank goodness we have Gemstone here. So I do see a couple questions about university honors, so I'll address those. I'm assuming that's the one they're talking about. So what internships are specifically available to students who select university honors? So there aren't specific internships, but there's a plethora of different options of internships, and we actually have a listserv that goes out weekly that lets our students know what research opportunities are out there, what internship opportunities are out there, and it kind of makes it easy for our students to kind of get it on their radar if it's something that they're interested in. Yeah, so it's not just for university honors specifically, that's for any of our programs. And the other question about UH, is university honors more generic and not topic specific for people that aren't interested in the other options? So university honors is a multidisciplinary program. And so they actually cover different topics depending on your interests. They have what they call thematic clusters. And there's always 8 options they cycle out every 2 years, and another 4 come in and 4 go out. So at any given time, there's 8 different options. But there are topics like systemic racism, and a couple years ago we had peace and war, they're different topics, and they basically bring in experts from different fields to cover these classes so that the students can get a wide range of perspectives in regards to whatever that topic that they choose. If that, hopefully that answers that question. Have any of you taken a biochem class yet? Okay, so the question is, how are the they say the main bio and chemistry classes, are they 200 to 300 students, or do they start to get smaller as you go up?
Yeah, so I'm a biology major, so I did the introductory series of like biology and chemistry courses, and they do start with like the bigger lecture halls. I'd say around 200 people per lecture. I can't give like an exact number, but we do have discussion sections, so there are opportunities to get into smaller groups and talk to TAs to get your questions answered. I'm a big proponent of office hours. That's the advice I like to give to all incoming students. So with these big lectures, just kind of stop by your professor's office hours, ask questions, get to know them. Like, that's a good way to kind of get that networking and build those relationships for, if you ever need a recommendation letter for something. The classes do tend to get smaller. It depends on, the course. My microbiology lecture had probably 40 people in it, maybe 36. But my cell biology lecture has currently like 100 and something students, because that's like a pre-med course requirement. So it does depend on the class, but overall, generally, when you get into like the specialization specific biology classes, like those upper levels, those tend to be much smaller and more focused.
So I have a couple more questions that I caught for gemstone specifically. So I think we touched, or you guys touched on this a little bit earlier, but just in case people didn't catch it, could you go through the process of actually picking a research topic and then getting put on a team?
I'm actually involved in that process right now as a second semester freshman. There are a lot of us who submitted project sheets, which is where we decided on a gemstone project that might be a good research topic. And we write up a sheet that includes a literature review, some suggestions of how we would approach this project. And then we all submit them and have a whole few weeks where we pitch our projects to the rest of the gemstone cohort. And then we vote down the projects to sort of pare it down to, I think, 10 to 15 good projects. And then we will all choose which of those project sheets we want to be on. And by the end of the semester, everyone will be on teams of projects that were proposed by gemstone students.
And do any of you know right now, I know Neha, you actually mentioned one of them, and if you could mention that again, it'd be great. Any of the current research topics that students are working on this year?
Yeah, so the team that, I was talking about earlier is one of our more social-based projects. That's Team BMM, Black Mamas Matter, and they're studying racial disparities in maternal health care as related to like maternal mortality. And that's a really interesting project. That was a popular one. I can talk about a little bit about my team too. I'm going to humble brag a little bit and say I proposed this project. So it's called Team Superbug. We are not on the team of the superbugs. It was just a good acronym. We are attempting to eradicate the superbugs. So we're trying to use CRISPR gene editing to kill drug-resistant bacteria. So that is one of the more like biology-based projects. Our cohort also has a few quantum projects this year, which is interesting. I think there's one team that's attempting to use quantum technology to analyze protein folding I think we've got a few fire protection projects, teams that are attempting to use like develop an exoskeleton suit to fight fires, and teams that are attempting to develop unmanned aerial vehicles to fight fires. So there's a lot of fun stuff going on. Yeah, I mean, that's just in my cohort. There's a lot of other research going on in Gemstone.
I can speak to some of the research in my cohort. It is very like interdisciplinary. You have a lot of different research projects. So mine is specifically more bio-related. My project is looking at how we can use a viral protein called NSP5 to actually downregulate a signaling pathway for the treatment of lymphoma cancer. So that's what my team is working on, but there are other projects in my cohort. One of them is working to develop prosthetics. Another one is looking at biases in hiring processes and how we could kind of get rid of those biases. Another one is looking at how we can use sustainable fashion. And then another one is looking at like alcohol poisoning and how we could kind of convert ethanol into a safer byproduct instead of a byproduct that can impact the liver. And then there's also another one that is looking at developing like nanotechnology to help with the treatment of brain tumors. So a lot of diverse projects going on within Gemstone, and it really depends on your interest.
Very interesting things happening. And we did get a question in regards to this. So if you're graduating early, we did say that Gemstone is a 4-year research-based program. So there are students that graduate early. They do have a setup for those type of students. You basically would graduate and then you just stay in connection with your team. And when it's time for everyone to present at the end of the 4 years, you would just make sure that you're still being active and a part of that team. That the more specifics would be told to you, but it is possible. Can someone talk about, I'm assuming the design choice in business. So we have 2 other programs, design, cultures and creativity, and then the interdisciplinary business honors. So design, cultures and creativity, we call DCC. That program is designed for students who are interested in the arts, sciences. Basically, they like to say a student that is interested in DCC would be a student who doesn't know what major they want to pick. They want to pick 10 different majors because they're interested in so many different things. DCC kind of helps cover that and lets you explore those types of interests within design and how design works into the world and engage in the world. As far as our business program, IBH, it goes into the future of work and business. And so it's automatically, I shouldn't say it's automatically assuming, but it doesn't go over intro to business courses. It's going further than that. And going into different topics in regards to business and globalization and stuff of that nature. There's a question in regards to the courses in Gemstone. Are they predetermined? I'll just answer that for all of the programs. So each of our programs actually has a set curriculum. So they're all predetermined courses. Majority of our programs have 15 credits, 15 to 18 credits of a set curriculum. And like we said earlier, it's they're designed to be a part of your general education courses, so that students can kind of tackle out 2 different things. Let's see. What kind of social activities are available within the Honors College? And could you share some of your social experiences that were meaningful to you?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I can speak to Gemstone specifically. I'm on one of the many members of GLC, or the Gemstone Leadership Council. I think there's like 80 of us total across the four cohorts. So this is not like a leadership group with like 5 people on it. This is a great way for everybody to kind of get involved if they so choose. And, you know, it's just this group of students who kind of want to improve our program and connect with other students. So it's a great way for us all to kind of, you know, both work towards, you know, the future of Gemstone, but also just to kind of be social and get to know each other. We have a peer-to-peer mentorship program called Connect. I am on the steering committee that kind of oversees that. So I'm going to plug that a little bit. Essentially, Connect pairs upperclassmen who want to be mentors with the incoming Gemstone freshmen. And Gems freshmen kind of get somebody who they can ask questions about really any aspect of anything. You know, mentors will help their mentees with their 4-year plans. They'll, you know, give them advice about making friends and their social life. Connect will organize like trips to DC and take everybody to basketball games. So Gemstone has like a really great way of, you know, cross cohort communication and, you know, kind of getting us all to be a little bit more social outside of our classes. And we also have something called Gems Camp, which I'm not sure if anybody here has heard of. But essentially, all the incoming freshmen have this optional trip to basically a like camp on the, I believe it's the West River, just a few days before the, you know, first day of classes, and the whole freshman cohort will go. And, you know, it's not like tent camping, but it's like, you know, there's cabins with bunk beds, and, you know, we do team building activities, and it's just a really fun kind of group bonding experience right before the start of the semester. That was like one of the first times I learned to kayak, and I met one of my closest friends there. So it's really a great experience.
The Honors College as a whole, oh, sorry. The Honors
Go
College as a whole
ahead.
also has a bunch of social experiences for like just honor students in general. There's ice cream socials where you can go and get free Maryland Dairy ice cream that I like to go to. And it's just a good opportunity to like meet people from other honors programs and also hang out with your friends who might be in other honors programs.
Yeah, and kind of to add on, I think Gemstone specifically, like we have a Gems prom every year, which is really nice. And it's not usually just like for like the freshmen or the sophomore, it's for all 4 years. And so it's really nice to kind of get that like opportunity to meet some of the new students that are coming in. Gems Camp, which was really fun. And also during like, so we live in Ellicott, so during our like freshman year, so a lot of the students will just hang out in the lounges, and that's like a really great way to meet other people as well. And so that was a really great time too.
Thank you, guys. So there is a question in regards to what kind of internships do students in the Honors Global Communities do, and what are their academic requirements? What are the academic requirements do they fulfill? So Honors Global Communities actually has what they call a Global Fellows Internship track, which basically in the fall semester, it's in their second year that they take this course, but in the fall semester, they're taking classes from practitioners from wide range of policy experience, and they bring it to the classroom. In the spring semester, the program actually helps students find internships that focus on federal and or international policy. And that would suffice for your global, that's a part of your curriculum for global communities, honors global communities. So, and also several of our programs also offer formals too, like the GEMS prom. So that's also a thing. I know Honors Global Communities also has a potluck that they do, and it's like a lot of different international foods, so you get to try that. So a lot of our programs do a lot of different fun things for their students, in addition to the wider range programming that we do at the Honors College level. Let's see. So for there's a question in regards to how many students are in the design, culture and creativities program, and the business program. For design, cultures and creativity, correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say it's 65. And then business is also the same. So those are two of our smaller programs. Let's see. How early or what are the scenarios students face to get internships in computer science or cybersecurity if you're a freshman? So if we had someone on the line that was in ACES, they would probably tell you that it's fairly easy to get those internship opportunities, because if you're interested in cyber and you're interested in ACES, they actually have partnerships with multiple companies to include Northrop Grumman, the NSA, and stuff of that nature. And so they do a fair, I guess like a career fair, so that these companies can come out, learn about the students, and possibly get internships with those programs. And so it isn't, to answer your question, you can get internship as a freshman.
And even for students not in ACES, I know a lot of freshman computer science majors who do have computer science internships. The key just seems to be applying early and applying to as many internships as you can. And freshmen definitely do have internships that first summer.
Thank you. Let's see. So I think you answered this already. Does your cohort foster community outside of the academics? Yes, there's a co-curricular component included. So they do different things. Like we mentioned, the proms, the formals, potlucks. They take field trips to DC. Depending on the programs we have, design, cultures, and creativity. They do yoga, a yoga class. They've done hiking. So it's multiple things that we do to foster community outside of the classroom. So while this is for all three of you, while your overall UMD experience seems like it's been great so far, what are some negatives that you can point out? I have one already, but
I'm a freshman, so one negative for me is that I have some larger class sizes right now. A lot of my intro to computer science lectures tend to be in a gigantic lecture hall with maybe like 300 other students. So that can be pretty tough to learn from. It's definitely a change from high school for me.
I can add one because this is one that a lot of students always say, is the construction. Although we are becoming a better university and campus, there is a lot of construction going on to get to that point. And so that could be a downer when you have to kind of go around the construction and stuff like that. But that's just stuff I've heard from students. Any other ones you want to add?
That was probably the one I was going to bring up. Like, it's not like horribly life altering, but the construction is not super fun to avoid. Yeah, that's really the main thing.
Let's see. This one is for Aaron. Since you're a CS major and know more about that field, would you say that user experience or user interface would better match DCC or interdisciplinary business honors?
I would say that user experience and user interface very much aligns with what DCC works with. Someone who's very interested in that will have a good time in DCC. But also, if someone is interested in both UI, UX, and business, then being in the business honors college, as well as having a major in technology and information design, might help supplement that major education. So it really depends on like that student specifically and what they would be interested in.
Thank you. So in the honors college, are there much more STEM focused students than humanities students? Oh,
I was answering that one.
oh, okay.
I just answered it in typing, but the answer is yes, there are more STEM focused students in honors than there are non-STEM, and that's because the university as a whole has more STEM focused students than non. But as someone whose background is in humanities, you know, I work every day to get more and more humanities students involved and non-STEM students. So we welcome all students.
That's absolutely correct. Yep. So let's see. This is a question actually I don't know the answer to. In Gemstone, once you pick your research topic and you're on your research team, later on, if you decide that you don't want to be a part of that, are you able to change your research topic?
So you can't switch teams. Once you're on a team, that's kind of it. I will say though, that there's almost a 100% chance that whatever research idea you start with is not going to be the exact same one that you finish with, because research is a type of process that just, it invites change as you learn more about the field that you're interested in. We've had a few teams that have started with like an entirely different research question than what they ended up actually working on. Of course, you know, it's probably still kind of the same general area, but you know, there's no, like if you end up on a team that has a certain idea and you're interested in that idea, but you don't like the exact direction that the project has been proposed to be going, the nice thing about it being a team project is that you can provide your input and potentially change that direction. You can't switch teams, but you can, you know, change the direction of your research.
Let's see. So let's see. Are there any other summer experience programs before freshman year starts other than GEMS camp? So I know. I'm thinking. I don't think so. You said no, Jenny. I want to say I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I think it's only GEMS. Others have a variety of welcome events and opportunities during the sort of the move-in period when students move in prior to when classes start. Some do have some opportunities after classes start. So each program will have their own series of welcome activities. GEMS is the only one that has the camp prior to move-in.
Is there opportunities to do research in design, cultures, and creativity? There's opportunities to do research in, I mean, in all of the different programs if you're interested in research. So it's not just limited to Gemstone. Gemstone is just a different type of research. But if you're in any of the programs, you can contact like Neha said, you can cold email faculty and see if any of them will let you inside the faculty labs and stuff like that. Which honors program is the best for the pre-med track between GEMS and ILS? So I would say we have pre-meds in I can say at least all of our programs. So again, this is one of those questions that it depends on what you're interested in. If you're trying to align your pre-med classes or pre-med track classes with your honors program, then I would probably recommend ILS, because some of those courses would be a part of the major requirements. However, we have pre-meds in honors humanities, university honors, they're literally everywhere. So you don't necessarily have to be in GEMS or ILS to be pre-med.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak a little bit to that because I'm pre-med. And like there really, like I said, is no right answer. I would say if you're more research oriented, or especially if you're interested in MD, PhD, then GEMS might be a better fit for you because you do get that research experience built in. Like Chantel said, ILS is great if you don't want to take like extra courses and you want to keep your curriculum as aligned as possible, because you know ILS courses, from what I remember, are aligned almost exactly with the first few years of introductory biology courses, which are in turn aligned with pre-med requirements. So it really is up to you based on what you're interested in. I mean, if you're pre-med, you could be pre-med with anything. You could be an English major and be pre-med as long as you have all of the course requirements. I'm minoring in history that has nothing to do with medicine at all. Well, you could argue it had maybe a little bit to do with medicine, but you just kind of, you just can do whatever you're interested in. And it just depends on what you want to get out of it.
Let's see. Which living learning program usually attracts the most engineering students? My son is interested in engineering, and since this affects the living situation, it would be good for him to be with students interested in the same major. So this is also one of those questions where it depends on what he wants to do. We have a lot of engineering majors in honors, like a lot. So they're literally spread out. There are plenty of engineering majors in Gemstone. They are all around university honors and stuff like that. So it really just depends. As far as the living situation, I can bet that no matter where he goes, he's going to find one of the programs, he's going to find another, and he's going to find several engineering majors with him. So I don't think that would affect him too much, no matter which program he wants to go into. What other programs do study abroad? So other than honors global communities, so our honors humanities program also has an option for study abroad to count as credits. And I want to say, I don't want to misspeak. I feel like BCC also has an area where you can do a study abroad option and count as your credits.
Chantel, I know that DCC, Honors Humanities, Honors Global Communities, I feel like ILS has an option. So those four for sure. And that doesn't mean that the others don't. Those are just the ones we know of. So more information would be available on each program's website. and or you could contact the programs directly for more info.
So let's see. How far are the resident halls from the Smith College of Business? The resident halls and honors, they're kind of spread out between North Campus and South Campus. And are any of you guys familiar where the Smith School is? Okay. Because I'm not. Which
I know.
is that? Oh, go ahead.
So Prince Frederick is directly across from Van Munching where the Smith School is. And Prince Frederick houses ACES, DCC, and IBH.
So that would mean all the other, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say then Honors Humanities is in Anne Arundel, HGC Global Communities is in Dorchester. Those two would be the next closest. They would be a 5 to 10 minute walk. And then the other programs, I think it's called North Campus, they would definitely be a much longer walk to the business school.
Thanks. Let's see.
I will say there are buses that can get you, closer to South Campus. Like I said, like a lot of my friends are government and other humanities, sociology related majors, and they lived in Ellicott and their classes were all on the other side of campus and they just took a bus. So there are ways of making it work if you need to.
There's scooters, I see all types of different transportation, electric, skateboards. I've never seen that until I got here. Bikes, bicycles, stuff of that nature. Very creative students. Let's see. Where are the UH dorms? So they're actually located in the Heritage community, which is a brand new community on campus that consists of Pyeon Chin and Johnson Woodle halls. Let's see, and they're on North Campus. How are honors programs different from scholars? So for those not familiar with scholars, the College Park Scholars is another living learning program on campus. So honors and scholars are both, they're both interested in academics. However, scholars actually has a large focus on service, and where we don't. So I mean, we have programs that do service like ILS, service opportunities to do that. But scholars has a big component of their program is about service. So they are looking, they look for students who not only are doing well academically, but have a big interest in service learning opportunities. And we're more academically driven, so. All right, let's see. We have a question in regards to if you commit to a program, do you have to go? Is it a binding agreement? So the answer is no. We are asking you to complete the preference form if you haven't already done so. Again, complete the preference form by February 20th, which is next Monday. It does not commit you to the university. It literally just reserves your spot within our community, so that we can actually, by early March, you'll be able to know which program you actually got accepted into. And that way you're able to make a more educated decision about, is the Honors College right for you? If you decide you want to go to UMD and you don't want to be a part of Honors College, that's fine too. You're not binded to our agreement, but we do suggest that you fill it out either way. That way you at least have options. Let's see. So another question. I think, Jimmy, you're getting to them fast. Okay.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know the answer to this question, and maybe I don't know if our students do. What computer science disciplines in UMD is UMD most advanced in or best known for? And how big is the comp sci program enrollment? Do you guys know?
Kind of. I'm still lower in the computer science department, but I know that UMD is really big on AI and machine learning right now. That's like the main way where we're on top. And the computer science discipline is very large at UMD. I want to say we have a couple thousand students per year, maybe like 1,000 or 2,000 per year in the major.
And then I also wanted to address this question about AP credits. It's not really, I don't think the students really choose which credits to transfer. They can sometimes choose what they want the credit to count for. Some AP credits can satisfy more than one option. And so in that case, a student can say, I want this to cover this gen ed, or I want it to cover this major course. And so I can, start the next level of the major course. So there's a list of AP courses and the scores and what they count as, what they would transfer into at the university. It's a transfer credit services, and I can put that in the chat as well, or in the Q&A, answer the question.
Thank you. So we've come to the end of our information session. Just a couple things. I want to thank our honors ambassadors for being great, per the usual. Thank you guys for coming out and asking some really good questions. Just a reminder, like I said, the best consideration deadline for the program preferencing form is on Monday. So please, please, please let your students know. It does not commit them to the university at all. We just want to make sure that we try to get them into a program so that they're able to make a more educated decision about whether Donna's College or UMD is right for them. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email us at honorsadmissions@umd.edu. And Jenny, did you have anything else?